We got Solid Uwu from the Goats, Parallax from Frost, Rogue from the Minotaurs, Blueberry from Hellcats, Magma from Gravelords, and Ladog from Krakens. Congratulations to everyone on taking home the Player of the Week awards. And with that being said, we've got a match to get to, and we got some great casters ready in the wings to bring you guys some action. They're going to be breaking it down. We have three great matches on the stream. We have at the 9:30 Chimeras versus Distortion. 8:45 we have Ember versus Gladiators, and right now we have a great matchup in the Challenger League. We have Bishops versus Wraiths. It's going to be a good one. I'm going to send it over to our boys in the booth. We got Magic Pepperoni and Psychonautic taking it away. Psycho, it's all you.
Oh, thank you there, Rocker Man. That was some great Player of the Week. Congratulations to all those guys. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to get into some Rocket League action in the Challenger League. Like Rocker Man just said, we've got the 5-3 Bishops going up against the 6-2 Wraiths. Both of these teams are squaring off the Mountain and the Central divisions. Both these teams are sitting in second place in their divisions behind the Raptors and the Assassins. So they've got a lot to prove. They've got a lot on the table, and I think this is going to be really close, Magic. What do you think?
I'm thinking this is a very evenly set matchup with Wraiths, one of the top teams so far this season, and a Bishops team that started off really bad. They had a tough schedule early on, but they made some moves, and they're sitting at coming off a 2-0 week and pretty high in the power rankings. So a lot of teams think really highly of this Bishops roster, and they have a big opportunity to prove it tonight against a top team.
Yeah, and Bishops are actually on a 4-game win streak. The last 4 games that they've won, or excuse me, matches that they've won, they have. I didn't see how well they've done, but they've won all 4 of them. And you know, Wraiths, they actually went on a 4-game win streak in the beginning of the season. They came out of the gate on fire, but they've since cooled off a little bit. But we'll have to see. Here tonight, are the Wraiths going to be able to shut down the Bishops here? Magic Pepperoni, what do you think? Like, what? Let's get a caster prediction from you.
Um, so this is a weird one for me because we've played the Bishops, but I think they've made a roster move since then. So I have no idea anything about this team, at least firsthand. And on the other side, you got the Wraiths, the team that when we played them, I was out of town. So I don't know anything about these teams firsthand, but I do know that Milky is popping off in this series. And if it's one guy who's going to lead this team to win, it's Milk. And on the other side, Bowser, I think he got a Player of the Week. I think he's on Wraiths. So it's either him or Milk has to pop off. And I think they have pretty good odds to have at least one of those two guys go crazy in the series. So I got Wraiths taking it in 4.
That's a pretty good call, in my opinion. Yeah, you're completely right about Bowser. He did get Player of the Week. I can't remember if it was last week or the week before, but he's actually a friend of mine came over from a different league we playing together, and he's been doing great in Nemesis League. I'm happy to see him making waves here and getting his name out there. And it looks like we've got 9 people here in the lobby. I think we're about ready to join up. And it looks like these boys are, in fact, ready to join up. Bishops versus the Wraiths, ladies and gentlemen. This best of 5 series. Getting things going right here, right now with this first kickoff. Drizzy versus Bowser. Ball bounces out to the midfield. Hypnotic's there, but Cookie going to take that away from him. Cookie gets the touch. Down looking for Milky Fort, getting in front of it. Bowser off the sidewall, going to miss his touch. The ball's floating in the midfield. Hypnotic with the shot, but it's not going to go. Relic Cookie almost putting it in his own net, but Milky was there to save it away. Cookie down to Bowser. Bowser getting it past the defense in the midfield, trying for the follow. Gets it past Fort. Drizzy's there, sending it out from in front of his net. In the first 30 seconds, seems to be going so far in favor of the race. I feel Magic Pepperoni like they are holding most of the, if not all of the offensive pressure.
Yeah, Bishops probably feel they're slightly an underdog, even though they had that 4-0 last 2 weeks, as you pointed out. But you're going to see some nerves early on here from a team that wants to keep their streak going in the Bishops, and they have a really tall task against the Wraiths here. And you can see kind of the nerves playing a little bit of a factor there. Scary situation is taken care of, but yeah, you're right. The Wraiths looking very comfortable, as you would expect early on in the series.
And I'm just wondering how long it's going to take for them to warm up with as much offensive pressure as they are applying. It's just a matter of time before they score a goal, and then sometimes these highly aggressive offensive teams can just run away with it. Relic in the midfield. Bowser going for the bump. The ball gets hit to the corner. Bowser's there off the backboard. Hypnotic's there to clear it away. Drizzy in the midfield, gets it past the defender, up the corner. He's with it. He's going to bounce it out to the midcourt there, take the shot, can't get it through the defender. Bowser's there, beats out one of the Bishops to the ball. Drizzy's up, gets the flip reset, and he can't get it in. Milky almost with a disastrous touch. That was dangerous, but it worked out for him. Relic Cookie to send it all the way down. Hypnotic putting the ball in a dangerous place. Bowser with the shot, clangs it off the side post. And Drizzy puts it up. Milky's there, keeping the pressure alive for the Wraiths. Hypnotic just trying to clear it out. It goes over the line. Cookie getting bumped off the ball, but able to stick with it. Bounce pass, looking for Milky on the other side. Milky up the sidewall, sticks with it, but Drizzy to take it away from him. Half of this game gone now so far. Magic Pepperoni, no goals. Even though Wraiths still holding a majority of the pressure, they have not been able to crack through the Bishops' defense.
Yeah, and I'm not going to lie to you. I'm actually kind of disappointed in the way the Wraiths are playing so far in these last couple of minutes. They've had plenty of opportunities. They had pretty much an open net if they had a good shot. They had a 2-on-1 situation where Bowser just goes for a bump. There's nothing the last man can do. So the Bishops kind of getting out situations they usually wouldn't. And you have to think, at what point does that bite them in the back, but not right here, as the good shot comes on target that they've been looking for, and Milky puts it in the top corner.
And you called it. Milky showing up for the Wraiths. He's there to take advantage. Hypnotic hitting the ball just a little bit too far away from him, loses control, and Milky was just super fast, ready for that ball, and he's going to find the back of the net. 2 minutes left on the clock, plenty of time for Bishops to make a comeback, but will it be enough? Will Wraiths be able to shut them down and take game number 1 of the series? Milky keeping it out of his net. Milky popping it up to the mid. Drizzy's there, but he can't get a solid touch towards net. Sends it up the sidewall, down to Fort, but Milky in front of it. Milky past Hypnotic in the midfield. He's got space to work with. Drizzy going to challenge the ball. Relic sending one down, but Drizzy is still back to stay defensively sound for his team as the ball gets cleared back to the Wraiths end. We've got just a little over 60 seconds, and Hypnotic gonna sneak one past the last defender sitting in net.
I mean, it turns into a goal. They probably should have gotten punished for a bad clear. He had 2 open options on a counter attack and just overshot both of them, but still nobody has boost on their way getting back for the Wraiths, and the Bishops, they're gonna tie it back up. Both teams kind of playing a little sloppy in the finishing department when they have a chance, but sometimes you gotta let the defender just not be in a good spot, and that's what happened right there.
That is indeed what happened. The best defensive teams can make mistakes, but Relic Cookie taking advantage of a mistake made by Hypnotic. Bowser able to get that ball through and find a pass to the middle. Magic, that was a heck of a play.
I mean, Bowser just bodied their third man. I mean, you can't really blame Hypnotic too much. He has to play a 50 there, but you got to get a little stronger in that situation and play the low 50 so you stay in position as Bowser did. And Drizzy has a chance here with the last few seconds ticking away, but not a good shot comes through. Ford has a chance, a good bump, and the bump will do it. The Bishops tying it back up before it gets too low in time.
Yeah, Wraith's just not able to make a good defensive stand right there, and Fort takes advantage of it. He gets an easy ball and didn't even generate very much power on it, but it was enough to cross the line, which is what matters. In the final 60 seconds now, we are back to a tie ball game. Hypnotic almost getting it. Drizzy also missing the ball. I think he was expecting Hypnotic to get his touch, so he just wasn't ready. And oh no, this is disastrous as nobody from the Wraiths back to make the stop there.
I mean, so Drizzy backflipped when on an open net and then just 50s and gets the goal he deserved in the first place. So, I mean, he made it in just a few extra steps, and the Bishops, they're in a good spot to close this game out if the Wraiths can't do something in the last few seconds here.
And it might be tough because the Bishops have seemed to get stronger as the time has ticked down. And they started off not super strong, but now they are commanding much more possession over the ball. In the 30 seconds, we'll see if the Wraiths can clean it up or if the Bishops will carry this win and get the first win of the series Hypnotic out of the corner. Bowser's there, pops it up. Hypnotic still with it, but he's going to hit it around his own teammate, Relic Cookie, to put it up in the final 10 seconds. Drizzy putting it down. Relic Cookie still with it, trying to follow, but Drizzy to take it away from him, trying to get one for the road. Bowser to send that one away. Great save, but Fort is not done, and he's going to add a little salt to that wound. 0-second goal, giving the win to the Bishops.
I mean, how good do you have to feel if you're on Bishops right now? And just a little fun fact for you, Psycho. Their last 4 series that you pointed out, they've won every one. They've dropped 1 single game in all those series combined. So you have to think, if the Wraiths start off slow in the series, as they have done, do they have a chance to really get themselves back into a good spot to take the series? Because Bishops, we've seen recently, once they get rolling, they're honestly one of the top teams.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. After that, I mean, in the beginning, I was like, man, Bishops are looking, not that I'm anybody to say weak, but they were just looking weak. They weren't looking like a number 2 in their division team. But after that, like, I would say the halfway point, like that 2-minute, 30-second mark, they just woke up. They just started assaulting the Wraiths. They just took possession away. They said, we're not going to let you do this anymore. We're just going to do it, and we're going to do it better, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, that's not exactly the way you want to start. After the race, it's so much pressure. Like we were saying how good the race looked early on, pretty much always on offense in the first few minutes. They kind of missed out on a few chances they had to score that would have played a big factor in a game they lost by 2 goals. They at least had 2 or 3 chances to put it away. And at the end of the day, their overcommits as third man, leading to counterattacks, were what it was their demise. So game 2 here on Urban Central, it has to start off fast and early, and it can't just be offensive pressure, Psycho. It's got to be goals.
Yeah, and definitely we need to see the Bishops, not the Bishops, the Wraiths clean up their defense, like you were saying. At least I think like 2 of the goals that the Bishops got in game number 1 were just off of silliness, really, just not having anybody sitting in net when the ball was in their defensive zone. So hopefully we'll see some them tighten up their defensive end and push forward here in game number 2, maybe force a game number 3, and have a tied record for the match series. As Milky's going to pop it up. Hypnotic side flipping there, but Drizzy was there to take control of the ball. Ball's floating in the midfield. Cookie and Hypnotic gonna 50. Goes in favor. Fort's there. Bowser to send it away from the Wraith's net. Milky sends it down, but Drizzy's gonna follow it on the Bishop's backboard. Drizzy still with it. 50s with Cookie. Cookie trying to find, but he's gonna leave the ball as Fort hits it away. Milky to find Bowser off the top crossbar. It's not gonna go. Missed opportunity for the Wraiths there. Magic Pepperoni is not the way they want to start this game.
Yeah, that was the story of game 1, is they had plenty of opportunities, but no goals coming from it, and that's what we called on them to do. And yeah, you're right, strike 1 so far. And so far, I'm loving the physical play by both teams, but I feel like it has to be your answer here is the Wraiths, because it's kind of just a guy sitting in net. And if you make a little more aggressive rotations, might pick up some easy goals here, and some much-needed easy goals. As Milky pays for with his life to get the clear downfield and relieve some of the pressure that was mounting.
Yeah. Oh my God. Cookie with a huge body on the defender just said, nope, I'm getting this goal.
I could have sworn that there's a goalie right there, Psycho. He just, 1 second he was there, 1 second he was in his corner flying at 1 billion miles an hour. But I mean, that's exactly what I just told him to do. Get some bumps, might get some free goals, and what do you know? It paid off.
As they do. And something that I was gonna, point out before that amazing play was that, the Wraiths have also showed us that they have the ability to make good passing plays. They just are lacking in their finishing right now. They just don't seem to be able to. They need to dial in their accuracy just a little bit. They've hit the post, they've hit the crossbar several times. If they start finding the back of that net, then they're going to be able to bring the pain back towards the Bishops.
Yeah, and a good clear coming out right there. It seemed like the Bishops had him in a very awkward spot, low on boost. Milk, a good play off his own backboard, relieves the pressure. And now things are getting dangerous here, but Bowser, by himself downfield, has an open net, and he dumps it off to Milky off the crossbar. Oh. Milky had anywhere to shoot, and the 50 comes through. They did not deserve a goal for what just happened, but they'll get one nonetheless.
Hey, I mean, Cookie demonstrating his gym prowess just goes through that. I mean, he ate that 50 alive, got the redirect. Sure, we can call some of it luck, I'm sure, but you know, that type of stuff is just that's what makes this Rocket League. Mans was there, he pushed that ball through, and now Wraiths have a 2-point lead as we enter the second half of game number 2, and that's exactly the position they want to be in as they are down by 1 in the overall match. Drizzy's up, he gets the touch, sends it into his corner. Milky's still with it. Milky trying to get something else, but he's not going to be able to. Fort and Hypnotic going to double on it. Fort trying to get back. Cookie with the shot that's going to go wide. Bowser was up for the redirect. Bowser looking for a bump on Drizzy. Fort to send it away from the net. Hypnotic pops it up, just trying to keep it away from the races. Relic puts it off the backboard, and Milky has an easy shot as the Bishop's defense begins to break down.
Yeah, Milk is playing phenomenally right now, and that's a perfect spot to put that ball at, just where Hypnotic can't get it with his low boost amounts. And, you know, something I'm just realizing, Levy is their highest MMR player and is not playing, so I'm not sure this is their set roster that's been getting them these wins, or if, you know, missing their highest MMR player by a good 90 MMR, Levy over Drizzy. You have to wonder, because Drizzy looks fine, but at what point does, you know, not having your highest MMR player come to bite you against a top team?
Yeah, it's definitely a tough situation. Exactly like what Bishops are in right now. 3 down. A minute and 35 left on the clock. Drizzy missing his touch there. Seeing the nerves start to play out for the Bishops. It's not going to be as easy of a win as they might have anticipated based off of game number 1. Milky got plenty of room to work with here. Gets it past 1. Can't beat out the second. Is Relic gonna 50 with it? It's a free ball for Bowser. He gets the touch, beats out 2 defenders, leaving the net wide open. Relic with the easy redirect into the net, and the Wraiths are running away.
Yeah, we've seen that situation plenty of times in this game alone, where one guy just cherry picking downfield and nobody anywhere near the ball for the Bishops to get in the way and put a hand up, and that one's just going to roll right in. 4-0. I mean, if you wanted a flip of the script, this is what you were looking for from the Wraiths. They look really good right now. And I mean, when you hypothetically one of your best players in Bowser, who had the Player of the Week, I think 2 weeks ago, is sitting at the bottom of the scoreboard with hardly anything going on, and they're still up 4-0, they can ramp up a lot more.
Oh yeah, they most definitely can. One thing I know about Bowser is he's a mechanical player, but he's also a very smart player. He knows that if there's people on the field that are better at chasing the ball, that are better offensively, he's perfectly fine with playing the midfield and the defense. He can play pretty much any role that he needs to. So he's a very versatile player. So when you see, like specifically when I see him at the bottom of the the leaderboard, I just figure his teammates told him, "Yo, we're about to go ape on this ball and just, back us up." And that's exactly what he's been doing. The final 10 seconds of the game, pretty much impossible at this point for Bishops to come back, though they are going to get one for the road. Fort coming in, getting a little stat pad for himself. The final 6 seconds to go.
Yeah, a good redirect by Drizzy makes a awkward defender have to make a touch. I don't think it'll matter, as the last 6 seconds here in the kickoff, just a formality. The crown race, the winner of game 2, and send us to game 3 on an equal footing here, Psycho, as after seeing that game 1, though the Rays had plenty of chances to make something happen on the offense, I was pretty convinced that the Bishops looked like the better team on the day, but game 2 proves me dead wrong as a blowout comes through on Urban Central. And we go ahead in this series with anybody able to take it.
Yeah, moving into game number 3, the most pivotal game of the series. Which team is going to come out? Which team is going to be sitting at match point after game number 3? I think both of these teams have a compelling argument that, wow, Wraiths really showing up right there. They were doing really good in the beginning of the first game, and then they sort of fizzled out. It's like they almost, lost their muster in the second half of game number 1. But in game number 2, these guys just woke back up, specifically Relic Cookie with getting the Hattie, 5 shots, over 50% shooting percent right there and 2 saves. He really put the Wraiths on his back and performed well during that game.
Yeah, you can see the Bishops taking their sweet time to ready up here. They're using every second to talk things over. Game one, Wraiths, they got punished for overcommits a few times. I think 3 times in this game, Bishops got punished for overcommit. So whatever team is playing a solid third man that plays to buy time for his teammates to get back, they seem to be succeeding right now. And Wraiths, they looked very dominating in their play style. The way they played that game was just sit back at defense and wait for the Bishops to have a mistake, and then just brutally punish them for it within 2 seconds in the Bishops net. So here we are. We head to game 3, Psycho, and this is anybody's series. And you have to wonder who's going to be the guy for the Bishops to get them back rolling towards a win.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to guess, I would expect to see Fort. You know, Fort is a little bit of a known name. He's been with Chess Hall for a couple of seasons now, I believe. I know at least since last season, if not the season before. And I'm pretty sure he's gotten Player of the Weeks before in previous seasons. But either way, he's shown us so far tonight that he can step up. He can be a goal scorer for their team. It's just he's seemed to be a little bit quiet during that one. All of them seemed be a little bit quiet. Even Drizzy, from what I've seen so far, has some really good mechanical ability. So it's kind of hard for me to say what they did wrong there. I think in game number 2, the Wraiths just really stepped up their game.
Yeah, the Wraiths cleaned up what they did wrong, and that's all it took. They didn't have to do anything different, but just do what they were doing correctly and more fluently, and do it as a team, because you can't have one guy on a different page, and it's going to make things fall apart. As we are waiting for people to join up in the lobby for game 3, I think Bishops are taking a little too long there as we do finally get them. They are using every precious second to come up with a strategy to take back control of the series, trying to keep their streak alive, as they've already dropped one more game than they have in any of their last, I think, 3 matches. They've only dropped 1 game in their last 4. So we'll see what they can do to bounce back here.
Yeah, I really don't blame them trying to take as much time as they can possibly get, knowing that this is the most pivotal moment of the night for them. This is the do or die moment, and not 100%, a shoe in that it's a do or die moment. Hypnotic starting things off. Bishops looking good after that little break. Sometimes they cool off, but not Bishops.
Yeah, not a good touch from Bowser. Both his teammates were not ready and in position to follow up on any touch he had, and that's the one touch he could not do, hard off the wall to a waiting Bishop attacker. And I mean, that goal doesn't really tell us anything, though. It was kind of just raised a slight misstep after an overcommit. So we'll see what the Bishops can do. Maybe get a hard-earned goal here as they have some pressure.
Yes, we will see indeed as Fort puts it up. Hypnotics there.
Demo.
Drizzy looking for the double. Oh, Drizzy trying to fall off the backboard. Can't get it through. Bowser trying to beat out Hypnotic, putting it in front of the net. Drizzy's there, but he misses the touch. And Relic trying to clear the ball out. Fort putting it back in front of the net. Hypnotic with the backflip. Can't get the shot. Relic gonna send that one away and get the clear. Bowser up front. Bowser sticking with the second touch off the backboard, but doesn't find what he's looking for as Relic Cookie can't get his shot through Drizzy on the defensive line. Bowser to keep the pressure alive. Milky pre-jumps but misses the touch, and the ball gets sent back. Over a minute gone now, and Bishop still up by 1. Seeing some oh my goodness. Bowser with the touch reads it off the defender and dunks the mess out of that man.
I mean, I know this game is tied right now, Psycho, but Bishops look awful. They are making so many little mistakes that they have not made all series long. Even that last game when they got destroyed, they weren't looking so awkward. Several whiffs coming through a backflip on an open net. They got to clean up things, and they got to do it fast while it's still a tie game. Fort with a good beat, and Drizzy does his best to keep it in, but you're going to see a quick counterattack come through here if Drizzy can't clean things up, because everybody overcommitting on both sides. And you have to wonder at what point does the counterattack come through.
Yeah, eventually one of them is going to come through. You know, that's one big thing about like Novice League and such is like there's so many overcommits. Drizzy getting back just in time to stock that one from Milky. But yeah, then obviously, sometimes it's just banger ball back and forth. So
oh my gosh!
Oh! Man, you know what? I didn't shout out Hypnotic. I called out the other two. I called out Fort and Drizzy, and Hypnotic said, all right, let me show him something. So, hey, you got it, Hypnotic. You the man right now.
Oh my, wasn't he the guy that backflipped on an open net? And he's just going to say, okay, guys, I'm sorry. Let me repay the debt and just double that right to the top corner. And he'll get back on defense here. Hypnotic playing a big role as another save comes through. And Drizzy has a chance here to relieve the pressure.
And Fort with a big save right there, coming out of nowhere at the last second, getting that ball. Respect. Love to see the huge saves. 2.5 minutes, the double commit from Hypnotic and Drizzy, and the counterattack. Fort can't get back in time. Milky has tied it up.
Yeah, bad double commit comes through. What was an open net, and it's just a good clear. Catches Fort off guard, not ready for it. Has to be playing a lot safer, especially after seeing his teammates double commit. So Bishops, they had a great play come through. Hypnotic with an amazing shot, and it's just wiped off the board by a mistake. Oh my!
Getting it past the final. Oh no! But his shot's gonna hit post. An unfortunate event for Milky right there as Relic Cookie puts it down. Hypnotic missing his touch. Milky to stick with it, but can't get the 50. Relic has got a little space to work with here. In the midfield, sticking with it past Drizzy. The ball gets touched by Hypnotic and then by, oh my goodness, Drizzy putting it towards his net, but Hypnotic able to make the stop. And the Bishops finally able to get it back to the midfield. Dangerous situations for the Magic Pepperoni. I'm starting to wonder if the Bishops are going to be able to take this.
I mean, just in case anybody who needed confirmation that stream nerves play a part, I think this game has proven beyond any doubt, anybody's mind, that these two teams are kind of struggling to do the basics that they would have no problem if this was an off-stream match. Good clear comes through, but you can see Cookie waiting all day for that ball to come to him. And a minute left to go here, Psycho. And you have to wonder, at what point do the Bishops make another mistake? And can they make that mistake after they get a goal to secure this game?
Or will it be the Wraiths that make the mistake? Either team could happen. We've seen both of these teams pop off offensively. And, oh, Milky gonna get it through. I didn't see what happened, but I could have swore that defender was gonna be able to make the save there, Pepperoni.
Yeah, Milky puts just enough power in for it. No boost. Has to pre-flip it. And he just doesn't get it off target. If that last guy racing back waited a little bit longer at back post, he probably could have cleared it, but either way, Milky, he does enough. And the Bishops, they make that mistake. And you have 50 seconds left to make an attack that matters and that can be finished off with an accurate shot. And the demo comes through. This might be their chance. Bowser with a good catch. And time's ticking away fast here, Psycho. We need to see something now from the Bishops.
Yeah, it is ticking away fast indeed. A little over 30 seconds left. Drizzy out of the corner. Fort helping him out, but Fort messes up his recovery a little bit and is not able to get it away from Milky. Milky almost gets just dunked on by Drizzy, but the shot was going wide anyways. Milky down to Bowser out of the corner. Fort is there, gets the touch. Bowser with the demo and the back pass. He's just going to take control, cut on the ball. Hypnotic to take it away from him.
Fort.
Milky is up, but Fort with the pancake down. Nobody from the Bishops there to take advantage of that situation, and Milky gets it past one. Fort looking a little bit defeated there. The ball is still up, though. Drizzy sending it down, but Bowser to put it down and secure game number 3 for the Wraiths, going in to game number 4 on match point.
I mean, I like to submit a little early player of the week nomination for Milky. Because, oh my gosh, this guy is carrying right now. His teammates are doing fine, but every time they need a clutch stop, they need a goal, he's the guy they're turning to. I mean, Drizzy or Ford had a chance to put that away, pass it down midfield, huge 50 from Milk, and is able to follow up and get the clear over the next attacker. And that pretty much just ended the game of what could have been an attack that probably should have ended up in a goal. Bit of an overcommit comes through, and Milky makes quick work of the situation. And now you got a match point here. Bishops, their streak on the line, heading to Forbidden Temple. What's going to happen here? Is Milky going to slow down and give them some room to work, or is this going to be another game like we've seen the last 2 times?
I'm anticipating to see a repeat of the same game. I think the Wraiths smell the blood in the water. They want to put an end to this. You know, they want to keep on, or they want to give the Bishops that first loss in their streak and make them feel that pain. That's a painful thing to have to go through. And you know, who knows if the Bishops are able to turn around and pull off a win? Who knows how far that hot streak that they're on can go? But there's nothing like, you know, being on a hot streak and then getting it ended right there. Sometimes it's hard to make a comeback from that.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you're coming off of 4 matches like this, when you're so used to having easy wins where you're in a good spot the whole way. Now you're needing 2 games in a row where you're done for. We'll see how they can handle the adversity as Fort with a good clear and a chance to counterattack here, but Bowser gets in the way. And the first 15 seconds had a little bit of promise for the Bishops, but nothing really coming to a solid state, and we stay at 0-0.
We'll have to see how things develop. The Bishops start to wake up. They really need to. We really need to see the Bishops from game 1 that start to build a lot of momentum and just become unstoppable. Fort with the touch off the backboard. Drizzy sending it down. Bowser out of his own corner off the ceiling. Gets a flick down to the midfield. Milky trying to find it but gets batted away by the Bishops. Cookie down to Bowser. Bowser not able to find the touch. And Drizzy going to take it out of the midfield. Milky gets the dunk. Sends it all the way back to the Bishops' corner. Fort with the mistouch, putting in front of his net. Milky's up, but he can't get the ball towards the net. Cookie getting it past the defender. Back pass to Bowser. But Bowser not able to find a good shot on net. Drizzy's going to send that one all the way across. Milky with the shot. Hypnotic, not expecting him to be there for that touch.
And I'm pretty sure, remember Hypnotic having plenty of boost to make the save. Just he jumps way too early and lets the ball go right past him. If he just boosted forward a little bit, then jumped, that was probably a routine save. But I mean, credit goes to Milky for having another great shot. He's still being that guy here in game 4. And the Bishops, they got to do something now because it looks like a slow bleed out so far. A little bit of an overcommit comes through. Drizzy looking to get an attack going. Tries to fake by one, but Cookie, I should say, on the backboard, cleans it up easily.
Cookie with some good, patient defense right there, as we've been seeing from him a majority of this match. But he just waits for it on that backboard, gets the touch, follows it into the midfield, and just completely reroutes any form of danger away from his net. Milky in the midfield. Drizzy looking for a shot, but Milky gets the pre-flip and it works. Gets in front of that ball and he gets it past Hypnotic, but gets bumped out of the play. Fort beating out Cookie there. Fort looking to send it down. Bowser with the touch, but it's off the ceiling. Relic Cookie was able to get up in front of it, but Hypnotic sending it away from his net. Drizzy with the touch. Milky looking to pass it. No, looking for the Doomsy, but Fort getting in front of it. Cookie trying to block, can't block him. Bowser to keep the pressure alive. Hypnotic gets demolished as he tries to get the ball out from in front of the net. And Wraiths just turning it on right now as we enter the second half of game number 4. They lead by 1, Magic Pepperoni, and you can tell by the way that they're playing they do not intend on giving that lead up.
Yeah, the Milk and Cookies buff playing a little bit too big of a factor right now, as those two are looking so good on defense. And Bowser, he's had some really crucial cuts when you thought, oh, here comes the clear from Bishops. You have an attacking, or coming from an attack Bowser, cutting it off and relieving the pressure before it even comes into fruition. A whiff comes through, and Relic Cookie having to save the day there. Last under 2 minutes left to go here. Bishops, they're running out of time quick, and it seems like they're spending a lot of their time on defense. A good redirect by Drizzy, but it's still going to be saved, and Psycho, seems like no matter what they do, they can't find a shot, but there it is. The finish finally comes through, and the Bishops are going to tie it up.
And it pays off for the Bishops right here. Drizzy getting an unexpected doink off the top of his car that's going to put some oomph on that ball and get it out to Hypnotic in the midfield. Gets a great shot on net, bangs that straight in, tying us up. Minute 30 left on the clock as Hypnotic gets it past one, dunks on another in the midfield, but it looks like Wraiths are almost able to retain possession. Bowser back in time. Fort with a clanger on the net from the midfield. Some good defense coming out from the Wraiths as we get down to our final 60 seconds. Relic looking for a pass, but Bowser just not going to come up for that one, as both of his teammates were already a little bit too far to make him comfortable. He does not want to lose, or excuse me, yeah, he doesn't want to lose this match. I could say he wants to go, but Relic Cookie gonna secure a 1-point lead as Milky with a beautiful pass to find him upfield.
And I gotta put that on Drizzy right there. He saw Fort commit for a challenge and was still in the opponent's backboard when he decides to follow up on a backboard bounce and just gets beat out, and it's an immediate goal. So a big time overcommit from the Bishops results in another goal for the Rays, and they can hold on for another 40 seconds as Cookie. A little bit scary there. They can hold on. They're gonna have a really huge win tonight. But the Bishops, they're already on the hunt here, looking for that equalizer.
Certainly are, but they're gonna have to play a tight game. This Wraiths roster has been pulling out the stops here in game number 4. You can tell that they really want to end this series. They don't want to let the Bishops get to a game 5. They do not want to see if the Bishops are capable of performing well in a game number 5. And Relic Cookie taking it off the backboard. Final 10 seconds. Bowser gets the touch. And this could be all she wrote. Hypnotic trying everything that he can. Fort pops it up. The final second, the ball is still up, but Milky gonna keep it up and away from the defender. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Wraiths are gonna be your winners in 4 games. Congratulations to them as they walk away tonight looking double-licious.
I'm pretty sure I'm just goated on the caster prediction, Psycho. I'm getting a few in a row here now, and that one feels good. The Rays, they're gonna take it in 4, and pretty convincingly. The last 3 games, they pretty much controlled the entire way through, and some 1-goal games to round it out. But at the end of the day, you kind of felt like the better team won, and a really good win for the Rays here to slow down the streak of the Bishops, and a good first match to start the stream off.
Yeah, Bishops having to come off that win streak always hurts a little bit more than just a regular loss, but I'm sure they'll be able to pick up their pieces again. Still sitting with a positive record after tonight, still sitting pretty in a playoff position. So, you know, not a lot of problems. I'm sure they just need to pick up the pieces moving forward on Wednesday, regain, go next, all them things you say. I'm sure they'll be able to get back into it, but a great win from Race right there. Them boys looking like fire out there. And ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up our first match of the night, though. We got 2 more on tap coming right for you after a short break. When we come back, we're going to be looking into the Prospect League, where we've got the 4-4 Gladiators going up against the 6-2 Ember. Magic Pepperoni, I appreciate you joining me in the booth here tonight. It was a pleasure casting alongside you.
It sure was, and I love getting some challenger matches on stream, kind of, see what my opponents are doing. I can't always watch their games, and now we got a chance to go to the Prospect League where Red Hot Ember look to keep it going.
Yes, sir, and we will be back after a short break, ladies and gentlemen. If you need to use a bathroom or get some snacks, stretch your legs, we will be back shortly with some more Nemesis Gaming League action.